Remember how?
Yo, can we keep the podcast to normal, bro? We're trying to talk.
Next week.
Why are you delaying
Why are you waiting
it?
for an email? You just send it right away.
I'm sending him.
Why are you delaying it?
Preparing.
It's good, bro. The guy.
So
They already have a tab on you.
This is the guy who apparently is right higher than me. This is the guy delaying emails.
Hey, I don't judge on how they put the rankings, just like the UFC, bro.
I don't know, bro. I believe.
Okay, let's get into topics, bro. This is getting too deep. There's so many things that nobody understands what we're talking about.
Me?
Be quiet, bro.
You.
First topic, okay? First topic. Sean O'Malley explains why he doesn't like fighting ranked opponents. I get paid the same.
He gets paid the same.
Wait.
So,
He's talking about Frankie Edgar though.
What?
He was talking about Frankie Edgar
He was talking about Frankie Edgar
because he was gonna fight Frankie Edgar. I think, right?
Let's put this in context. This was an interview with.
When you restart. He can't fight Frankie Edgar.
Why?
They're two different weight classes, aren't they?
No, Frankie Edgar goes up and down.
Okay, I forgot my ass. Go on.
Yeah, cut it.
No, go on.
Sean O'Malley did an interview, and this was with No Jumper. So do you know who? You know No Jumper?
Adam 22.
Yeah. So he's he's in the hip hop community. So he does a lot of.
Yo, if you're listening to this, bro, I want you to fight me, okay? Bring your gloves, bring your mouth, I'm gonna knock your head off.
He's like 6'3".
I don't care how tall, I'll kick your ass.
Okay. Anyways, he's more of in the hip hop community. I think there's a bit of crossover with Sean O'Malley in the hip hop community.
6ix9ine, Steve
mainly because of 6ix9ine, right?
Mainly because Steve will do it.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. But there's a cross between what does Steve will do it in hip hop have to do?
Steve will do it. Brought 6ix9ine onto the channel, and then he brought Sean O'Malley to meet 6ix9ine. That's how they met.
Okay. Anyways, so No Jumper is they interview random people from time to time. And he brought on Sean O'Malley. So this is a guy that, the No Jumper guy, who he doesn't really necessarily follow the UFC as much as the guys that are watching this video are. So he's asking a lot of vague questions, not necessarily questions that you would typically see from an MMA interview. So I think Sean O'Malley, by this quote, he was trying to demonstrate how the UFC contract is structured, and trying to explain to a guy that's not in the UFC world, the MMA world, how things work. So he's trying to tell him, listen, I have a contract, and it's not like a per fight kind of contract where your purse constantly goes up. It literally is. You have an 8-fight contract. Every single one of those fights is the same win, same show and win money. No matter if you win or lose. No matter if you win 4 fights in a row. If you're in that same contract, your win amount is the same dollars.
How come with some guys they're paid more though?
So as you get more accomplished in the UFC, more years, they change your contract. So there's contracts where there's no show or win money. There's just $1 amount is the show money, which is not as high as show and win, but it's a guaranteed dollar amount. And then you have another guys are the champions and big draws. They have show, win, or one flat fee plus pay-per-view points. So that's where the fluctuation comes into play, where people will get more or less money based off of the performance of the pay-per-view.
Where in his first year in the UFC, he became champion, remember?
Was the first year? I think it was second year.
Or whatever. So you're telling me that so his fight contract, let's say it was 4 fights or something like that, right? You're saying for the first and the fourth, they're the same?
Yeah, the same.
Really?
The difference is the deviation, that if there's any, is if they win or lose. If they win, they get double their show money. If they lose, they get just their show money. As well, the UFC puts in bonus systems where if you get fight of the night, performance of the night, submission, whatever it may be, that's when you get the deviations. But in general, they have a contract where it's you get this much money if you win, this much money if you lose, and this is how much money you get in total for certain guys. I can't think of anybody from the top of my head. I think Robbie Lawler, after his title shot, he was getting a flat $500,000 per fight, something like that, or it was Alistair Overeem. I forget what it was.
Horse meat.
yeah. So Sean O'Malley is explaining to a guy that's not in the sport like, okay, this is how it works. I don't necessarily get more money for fighting a ranked opponent. However, if you think of it from like a business standpoint or from the UFC standpoint, if you keep beating ranked opponents, the next contract you get obviously is a larger sum per fight. And then as you grow and you become champion, then you get pay-per-view points and stuff like that. So from a Sean O'Malley standpoint, and Sean O'Malley's standpoint, and in the context that he was talking about, it makes sense what he's saying. The other thing he was talking about was Chael Sonnen's school of thought was fight the easiest guy on the highest part of a card. Do you get that? So
like
if you face a tomato can,
like Moutinho, oh, I feel so bad for saying that.
No. Why are you saying that? No. If you're facing if you're facing a tomato can, face him on the main card.
Yeah, he did.
Right,
that.
as high as you can,
He did do that.
because you're making the easiest money, right, with the most gain.
So like Khabib
afterwards.
versus, I can't say that either because that's you want him on the podcast. Never mind.
Anyways, so that's what he's talking about. He's trying to maximize. And from an MMA standpoint, MMA hardcore in the headlines, it might come off as like rubbing people in the wrong way because they want to see him face ranked opponents. They want to see Dominic Cruz. They want to see Cody Garbrandt. They want to see Frankie Edgar, TJ Dillashaw. They want to see Petr Yan. They want to see all this because they're MMA fans. They want to see like the highest level of the sport on their screens. But from like a business standpoint, it makes sense for him to always face the easiest guy on the highest part of the card as long as possible. Continue to grow your brand.
But eventually, he's gonna have to fight someone in top 5.
But I guess he's in no rush because he was saying every time he fights, his growth, his platform just grows. Like his Instagram, his merchandise sales, all that stuff just skyrockets because of this new burst of fans.
Can I tell a quick story of when I watched a fight live in Vegas?
Okay.
Quickly. Okay, so...
you watched...
Sean O'Malley versus Moutinho.
Yeah.
Sick fight. Moutinho has a really good chin. Sick fighter, right?
Oh, yeah. That's what you got?
Yeah.
You can only get that from in person.
FYI.
That information.
But I'll tell you, so when the crowd was chanting Sean O'Malley,
you were screaming Chris Moutinho?
No, so they're chanting Sean O'Malley. I started saying overrated,
oh
right?
My God.
So all these guys beside me, they're like, yo, you're a effing hater, bro. Shut your mouth. I'm like, I'm like, dude, you paid for your seat, I paid for my seat, right? You can't tell me nothing, right?
Yeah.
But these guys, he has a cult. That guy has a cult following him, and whenever he fights, they go crazy. It's weird people too, you know?
Yeah, but you're also at a live event. There's a different different energy in there.
Yeah,
people are drunk. People are having a good time. They're going and seeing their favorite fighters, right? So they're just... it is what it is. You just want smoke.
I want smoke, man.
You want people to scream at you and tell you, shut up.
And fight back.
But yeah, Sean O'Malley will have his time.
How old is he now?
He's still in his early 20s. I forget when.
How old? Yeah, he has time. Jorge Masvidal sets his sights back on UFC gold. Open to Gilbert Burns or Leon Edwards fights next.
He's always been on the UFC gold track. This guy
just lost.
I don't want to say weaseled. He
fought on fight.
He got 2 opportunities to fight for a title.
First one doesn't really count. Come on.
He got himself to get 2 opportunities to fight for the title.
Yeah.
A guy that's like in his late 30s, right? Who had this streak going on. He built himself so much that he was able to get 2 chances at the title. Now that his stock has gone down since losing to Conor Usman, he's looking at things short term. He's not looking at long term anymore. He doesn't have that many years left in his career or how many fights.
He's not late 30s, like 36, 35.
I think 36, 37, around there. But he's had so many fights in his career. Not even in the UFC, like other organizations and in the backyard, as you've seen on YouTube.
Kimbo.
Why do you have to jump in front of the mic like that?
Sorry, man. Do it one time.
Kimbo. So he's looking at everything as like a short-sighted type of mentality. He's like, how do I get back to the title as soon as possible? Because there's always a chance that Kamaru Usman like retires, right? Loses, right? He loses his belt.
At this moment, you think he'll lose?
At any time he could lose, right? He's facing Colby Covington. There's a chance that he loses, just statistically speaking.
What are the odds?
Huh?
What are the odds, Patty?
What are the odds, Patty? Floyd Mayweather reference. Anyways, if you look at what Jorge Masvidal is trying to do right now, he's trying to put himself back in a position where he's best suited to get another title shot. Now, let me play something in a scenario. Jorge Masvidal faces Gilbert Burns in December. Okay? Gilbert Burns, he beats him whatever way. I don't even know. Just hypothetically.
He beats Burns?
Hypothetically, he beats Burns. Colby Covington versus Kamaru Usman comes up. Colby Covington beats Kamaru Usman. Colby Covington is the champion. Do you not think the UFC...
The first fight would be Jorge Colby.
Do you not think the UFC will say, you know what, Kamaru Usman, you need to take a little break. And what we're going to do is that we're going to have Jorge versus Colby for the title, and you face the winner of that fight.
But Jorge has turned down Colby before, though.
Because we talked about this in previous.
Also,
what has changed previously if compared to our hypothetical situation? Before, Colby is not the champion. Before, Colby is not necessarily the easiest fight to get it to a title shot. To fight Colby, there's always an opportunity to fight Colby because of that storyline. But in our hypothetical situation, Colby is the champion. Now, Jorge Masvidal, with a win over Gilbert Burns, can sell Colby versus Jorge as like this mega pay-per-view and probably the biggest payday Jorge will ever get in his career.
Do you think it'd be highest rated of all time or no?
No, of course not. Nobody's touching Conor versus Khabib.
Unless Conor versus Khabib too.
Yeah, I don't think that will ever happen.
Did you hear what Khabib said on the Hot Boxing podcast?
What?
I could fight anybody right now. I'm telling you, he's gonna get one more fight with Conor.
No, he's not. He's not gonna fight. I was in a camp of believing like maybe if Khabib would come back for GSP, all this kind of stuff.
No.
I think there's too many things that have happened, too many things that Khabib has turned down that I don't think Khabib's coming back anytime soon or ever. Now, he's only like 32, 33 years old, so you never know what could happen. But if he's turning down Floyd Mayweather for 100 million, supposedly 100 million, but even if it was like 70 million, right? And then he's turning down fights with GSP, right, for even more money. If he's turning down all these things, what is going to get him out of
if he wants to come back, who do you think he would fight? I
don't know. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that he has a chance to face GSP, and this is a legacy fight. But he has such a pure MMA mentality, such a pure combat mind, that he's saying that I don't want to face GSP now because he's way too old and out of his prime. It's not the same GSP that I came to see and remember and wanted to compete against. That guy is already gone. He's already done. GSP is no longer the same GSP that he used to be. So for me to face him, it's not going to be good. On the flip side, he knows that Floyd, I always mess up his name.
Mayweather. Woo!
Floyd Mayweather. He's such on a high level for boxing. Khabib is not wanting to disrespect the sport of boxing by going in there and creating this hoopla of like, oh, does Khabib have a chance, blah, blah, blah. Because he knows himself that Floyd Mayweather is the king of boxing, right? He's a legend of that sport. And as well, he's also old. He's not facing the prime Floyd Mayweather. So a lot of these things like weren't existing when he first retired. All these events.
One more thing. I think I also understand that like if Khabib was to come back, he wouldn't fight 155.
He wouldn't?
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Why?
I don't think he can beat that weight again.
I supposedly he's like, now that he's out of like camp and all that kind of stuff, he's in the 200-pound range.
More than saying.
And he's around like 5'10", around there, 5'9", 5'10" height. And it makes sense like to be that weight. I don't think if he were to come back, I hate this conversation, it would be 170 most likely.
Yep.
But I don't think it would be anytime soon. I think maybe we can revisit this topic maybe in like 3 to 5 years.
5 years, he'd be 37, bro. He's not gonna fight 37.
No problem. Who knows? I'm just saying, like, right now, he's done so many things to indicate that nothing is going to bring him out of retirement.
It would have to be somebody new to the sport who
I don't
takes the
know.
interest of Khabib.
I don't know.
At the same time, challenges Khabib's record. I think the only guy right now who has a chance of that is Usman.
But why would he fight his...
Why would he fight Usman, right? It doesn't make sense.
Kamaru?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I think he's already talked about that.
Yeah,
Usman is... I don't know. Even GSP is not interested in Usman. Why? GSP is like, why am I going to fight him?
Yeah, he's a monster, but...
No, I don't. I forget what his exact quotes and stuff were, but GSP doesn't have interest in Kamaru Usman. Mm-hmm. He was more interested in 155 in that title.
Well, speaking of Kamaru Usman, the next topic is Kamaru Usman pound for pound number 1 right now? Actually, when it was weird though, because UFC posted recently, they had it as
he's like 2, I think, right?
Yeah, I know, it was weird. For 1 week after his fight, he was number 1. And then they pushed him back down to 2 after.
Yeah.
Put John Jones back as first.
I don't know about that, but UFC is, like, I personally as well, I believe John Jones is the greatest of all time, and like pound for pound number 1 GOAT. But like, yeah, it's hard to put him in there now because he hasn't fought for so long. And
how long has it been now? 3 years? 2 years?
Dominic Cruz was his last fight, right?
Reyes.
No,
Dominic Cruz.
Reyes. Yeah, sorry, Reyes was his last
in
fight.
2019, right?
Was that his last fight?
Yeah, 19.
Wow.
Plus
yeah,
Santos
he's been out for so long. I like to if I had a choice, I would not put John Jones on that list at all. So I wouldn't put him lower than Kamaru Usman. I would just simply take him off the rankings because of inactivity. And now he's saying that he's not going to fight until next year, and who knows what's going to happen next year. I don't think he's in any rush to have a fight and all the politics, all that kind of stuff. So I would take John Jones off the list. Now, of the people that dropping water bottles,
Come on,
of the people that are left, the person that has the longest winning streak, dominance in their division, there's only like 2 or 3 people that you can even like look at. Is Izzy, Jan Blachowicz, not Jan Blachowicz, Jan, huh?
Gunn, Cyril.
Yeah, no, Cyril Gunn is
he's champion though.
He's interim champion. He still has to beat Ngannou. You have to put
Izzy.
You have to put Kamaru Usman, and there might be one more for like Ngannou, maybe, right? Just because, like,
I know, but even then,
by definition, pound for pound, he could beat anybody in that list, right?
If Gunn was to beat Ngannou, I think you put him as either first or second.
No.
Based on wins, based on the guys he's fought.
Because the idea of...
He's undefeated too.
The idea of pound for pound also takes into account what your resume is. Not just what you have accomplished at that moment. It's also what have you done in terms of longevity for your career. That's why John Jones is number 1. John Jones, if you were to take his last 5 fights and you say these are the only fights he's ever had, he wouldn't be number 1 top 5, number 1 pound for pound.
No, he's fought top guys. He's fought Cormier. He's fought Reyes. He's fought who else? Santos.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be number 1 because there's guys like Kamaru Usman who faced Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal. Who? Woodley. You have him against Burns. You have that kind of is. I would put those guys over Dominic Reyes and Thiago Santos. Yeah, the Cormier would be up there. I don't know. Maybe that's another video. But my point is, Kamaru Usman probably has the best resume right now and the best momentum going forward. Yes, he beat Jorge Masvidal twice in a row. And Jorge Masvidal is not necessarily like on that pound for pound list.
He fought Jorge, Burns, and then Jorge again, right?
Yeah.
You know so.
This guy's just correcting me on everything.
I have to. That's why I'm here.
Take John Jones off the list. Kamaru Usman is number 1.
Take John Jones off the list completely.
Yeah, I would take off John Jones just due to
but if
inactivity.
he was to come back and he was to beat,
put him back on.
What if he was to
put him back on?
Listen.
Put him back on.
No, I get it. Put him back on. But let's say he was to come back.
Yeah.
And beat Francis.
He has another 4 years where he's on number 1.
There's a suggestion for him to be number 1 all time and no one even close. At that point, if he was to beat Francis.
Yeah. But for right now, because of inactivity, I would remove John Jones.
John Big
But
Boy Jones.
the UFC has such a weird relationship with John Jones that they love and hate him at the same time. They will keep him. They will keep him in the pound for pound list, but they remove guys like Leon Edwards out of rankings because they haven't fought in a year or two. When John Jones hasn't fought since 2019.
They're saying that the next fight.
Didn't he face Gustafsson?
That was in 2018.
Or was that before?
That was before.
The second Gustafsson fight.
That was after DC, right? Was it?
Yeah, it was after DC.
But going back to Kamaru though, I'm hearing that his next fight will be against Nate Diaz.
Who?
Usman.
His next fight is Colby Covington.
No, I know, but after
that?
yeah, they're saying there's a chance for that. For
No,
Usman,
these guys are all about
But
these.
Diaz, man, I don't know if he wants that fight, man. Usman's a monster.
Why does he want that fight? It's a title
He
shot.
might die.
No. Diaz obviously, like, one thing that was very understated going into that fight, Diaz versus Leon, was the size difference. Nobody really talked about that, and I didn't realize the size difference until they did the face-off. I was like, wait a second, I completely forgot. These guys at 170 are at least 6 foot or 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
And when you have that height, you are much heavier on showing on fight night.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz, whenever he fought at 170, he was facing these guys that usually fight at 155. Right? He faced Conor McGregor at 170, right? Conor McGregor is not that big of a guy. Leon Edwards, on the other hand, that guy is massive.
Yeah.
And like he imposed his will throughout that fight for the majority until the fifth round or whatever it was. Kamaru Usman will have that same type of advantage where he's going to ragdoll Nate Diaz.
Yep.
No, Nate Diaz obviously has the jiu-jitsu advantage, but that matchup would probably most likely favor Kamaru Usman.
Heavy favor. But okay.
I'm not a betting man, but
I mean, bro, you bet sometimes.
if you want to make a little bit of
Bro,
money,
you
you bet on Kamaru Usman.
Okay. What is next for Derrick Lewis, Mr.
Derrick Lewis.
Mr. Derrick Lewis, sick fighter. I mean, we
Can I
really
ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
After he lost to Daniel Cormier, do you know what fights he had after that? For the title.
Dos Santos? Oh wait, no, for the title? No.
No, after he lost to DC.
Yeah. He fought
For the
Dos
title.
Santos.
What happened afterwards?
He fought JDS, no?
What else? Who else?
Ngannou, no? Or was that before?
I don't remember.
When he fought Ngannou, but then that was a sleeper.
My point
He's
here.
fought nobody, I get it. But who else is
No.
who's in contention?
My point is, what Derrick Lewis has done in his career is that he comes in these waves, right? He starts where he goes to the point where he has these momentum pushes where he fights for the title. So he's done it twice now. And then after he fights for the title, he goes into obscurity. Like he just goes and he fights like these weird, like not weird fighters, but these weird rankings, right?
Yeah.
And he wins some, he loses some, and then all of a sudden he has this push again and he comes
He fought
back.
Rosenstrike too, no?
Okay, so he lost to Daniel Cormier, then he fought Junior Dos Santos.
He lost.
Then he faced Blagoy Ivanov. Then he faced Ilir Latifi.
He's heavyweight.
Alexei Olenek.
He's heavyweight now?
Yeah, he moved up to
Latifi?
heavyweight. Yeah, and then he faced Curtis Blade. Right. My point is that
That's a
Derrick
good nickname,
Lewis will continue after this point to win some, lose some, until he has a little bit of a momentum push. Once he has that momentum push, they'll put him back into the title shot.
Well, he's a fan favorite, bro. He has power in both hands.
A big reason why he even got that title shot or the interim title shot was because of the whole
Francis
Houston
situation.
Yeah, Francis, but the Houston arena deal. So Houston signed a deal with the UFC to have events for the next 2 or 3 years, something like that.
Yep.
Because of that, it also influenced the UFC to be like, listen, we need Derrick Lewis to be part of a main event, a pay-per-view at this arena in Houston. Mm-hmm. So they used him as being a home favorite and fan favorite, all that kind of stuff, to kick off that agreement or to put him into that arena for that agreement. I think Derrick Lewis in the future will also have similar opportunities. He'll always be in the spotlight because the heavyweight division doesn't have that many stars, right? It doesn't have that many people that consistently win and have the fans' attention. How many heavyweights really are that popular in the heavyweight division?
Maybe Stipe, maybe DC.
Stipe, DC's not in this.
Yeah, but he's gone now.
Okay, so Stipe, Francis, Cyril gone.
I wouldn't even say he's not famous right now.
Yeah,
but
he's the interim champion. So
Latifi.
no, even see that like after it's just these guys, these random guys that go up and down, that have popularity, like Alexander Gustafsson, right? He came up, he lost. Verdum left. And there's Derrick Lewis, huh?
He started at what?
I think 205.
Latifi?
Yeah, he's a big guy. I don't know. We can go look at his career, but 205. Sorry. Other than those three, and then the fourth one would be Derrick Lewis.
Yep.
Right? All-Star Overeem is gone. Junior Dos Santos is gone. Kane is gone. DC is gone. Verdum is gone. Right? All these guys that were stars in the heavyweight division. Brock Lesnar is gone.
Bork?
You don't have that many prospects at heavyweight left. It's really those four guys that will go in and have that.
But why is that though? Like in the past few years, like you barely,
It's hard to find heavyweights. It's hard to find heavyweights because they either go to different sports. If they're really good, they go to boxing or they go to
wrestling.
They go to pro wrestling.
No, like
wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. It's harder to find those guys, those good guys. There's other guys that are up and coming, but even then they're all very very old. Right, they're not the youngest of guys.
Do you think Jan can make heavyweight or no?
Jan can fight heavyweight for sure.
Think so?
Yeah, why not? He's 205. Anybody can fight heavyweight. Rose
because I can see him going to heavyweight.
Huh?
Rose Namajunas.
Could he win at heavyweight? I don't know. I would have to ask him about that. I would have to ask him about
legendary Polish power.
Let's interview Yanni Blachowicz. Do some ice baths with him. You know what he does in his training regimen? I saw the videos. He would go to this random spot and he would ice plunge like every single other day or something like that.
I haven't taken a hot shower in 2 years.
That's not a lie.
I don't. I take cold showers only. It's life. Bro.
How cold?
All the way to the right.
That's a lie.
I swear.
You're lying.
Wallah, yeah, I do.
I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you prove it.
I don't take hot showers. I don't believe in that. I believe in mental fortitude. Cold showers and ice baths. What do you improve?
I said, I don't want to be there.
In the shower?
I said, yeah, I don't want to be there.
Do you want to watch? I will.
So when we were at the cottage and you jumped in the water, why were you complaining about it was cold?
I was the only guy who said it was not cold. You guys were complaining it was cold.
You said oh no, it's okay. It's cold, but then it gets warm. It gets warm.
I was the first one to actually go into the water. Listen, it's still cold. It's not like I'm a penguin. What do you do?
Penguin? You built like one.
I am built like a penguin, bro.
It was really cold that day.
Well, good podcast. Nice.